Dobie, now we're at Cray-Poe Park.
You know, it sounds like, or it's spelled like Crapo. Who named that? Is that a guy, the Crapo family? Everybody from out of town says Crapo. You know they do.
Of course they do, sure. And they get a kick out of it.
I got a kick out of it too.
Like, you know, if you're 6, that's awesome. Let's go to Crapo Park. Right?
We should all be 6 inside. It's a beautiful park, and I will say this: growing up in the Midwest as well, Iowa gets a lot of. Wisconsin gets the ugly stepchild of Illinois, but Iowa really gets it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful here, and there are nice people, and hopefully people made a nice living for a long time.
This park right here was such a part of my life because, first of all, it's still beautiful. I mean, it's amazing.
It is.
This is called the band shell where we're sitting. And so for years and years, this was used. Dobie mentioned that they have COVID seating set up right now.
There's about 12 park benches you can't see here. So when Van Halen shows up without Eddie and Sammy.
Yeah. Behind us, behind the band shell, is the Mississippi River. This is truly an amazing place and a lot of happy times. You know, sometimes as dented cans, we get stuck where we get hurt emotionally.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you're unable to move past that. Okay. And then instead of it being the reason why you are hurt, it becomes the excuse why you keep hurting. And that's where many of us dented cans, we can't get past it for whatever reason. You know, Dobie, you've had people say, let it go. Just let it go.
Build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a Tony Robbins one or a Hallmark card one.
Yeah. And as we're starting to see now with mental illness, even on billboard campaigns and videos and stuff, if somebody gets cancer, you wouldn't say, get over it. Let it go. Right?
Right.
And mental illness is real. Do you think that, by the way, I love your shirt that says Jack on it. Did you rip that off from a guy named Jack?
Yeah, I did. It's like a muffler shop or something. It's our official Dented Can chic uniform. We're going to talk about that in another episode. Max hates thrift stores, rummage sales. I absolutely love them. And there's a mindset there from a Dented Can, which we'll talk about later. But as you were saying about the mental hurt, I think you're hitting it on the head. So you had pleasant memories in this park.
I had pleasant memories in this park, mainly because what we don't think about, like youth, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong, man.
Thank you.
You are so wrong.
And that's all we have for you. No, you know, you focus on your dad and your mom hurting you, okay? But do you ever focus on your grandpa helping you and your grandma? You know, more, and let that be the focus more so than the pain caused by the parents.
Why don't I ball up my fist and club you like a baby seal? Because you're right. Yeah. It is right. And it's so easy not to do that. And it's a matter of, do you switch a lever in your head? I mean, you know, what's good about it? 19 things go wrong. The one thing that goes right, you think about that. That's got to be a conscious choice. And we're not told as kids, there's all this pain and things that we can't comprehend and tell a kid's mind to ourselves. We don't know how to do that. You're right.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that when I was 9.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah. Well,
there's skid marks on my heart.
The park here,
yeah,
this represents my late grandfather, Hal McGill. He was my mother's father, who we ended up living with after my mom's marriage to my father imploded.
Sure.
I'm 10 or 11 at the time. And he made it a point to bring me here on Saturdays. Okay? So just on Saturday morning, you know, get up, have some breakfast, and then he'd bring us to the park, you know? Just always.
Were there bands playing?
Oh, sure. They used to have bands play here, you know, back when people got together and did things instead of stare at a screen all day long.
Sure.
So, yeah, there were definite. And by the way, we're glad you're staring at this screen. We appreciate that. But, yeah, there was a band. Matter of fact, one time, do you remember President Carter? Of course you do.
I'm that old, yes. President Jimmy Carter with his teeth and his peanuts.
Well, he stood on this stage where we're sitting right now.
President of the United States.
He did, and as he got out of the motorcade, I got to shake his hand. Acting president, I was like, that was really a big deal for me.
Was he well received?
Yeah, I mean, shockingly, the whole place wasn't full. I do remember that, even as a kid.
Sure.
There's a lot of people here.
President can't sell out a park.
Well, that president for sure couldn't at the time.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was a neat moment that happened here, and my whole point with that is there are people in our lives as dented cans who are trying real hard. They recognize our pain, but we focus instead on the pain instead of on the good things that are happening. Even now, even today, as we're recording this,
you're right.
We don't focus on the good things that happened and the people that we're trying. We still focus on the bad things. For you and I, sometimes we'll focus on somebody who's been dead for years.
Sure.
So we're keeping those bad memories alive and we're moving them forward into our future. So we're using it almost, not saying you, so, that's a blunt object, but I mean, we use it as an excuse not to go forward. And we don't have unlimited time. We do not have unlimited time. So I'm glad to get out of that studio where we usually record this in the basement.
Sure.
And come out here and breathe this fresh air, smell the dairy air.
Smell the dairy air in Iowa, yes.
But, I mean, along the Mississippi River. This is a beautiful town, by the way. It truly is a beautiful town.
Did you realize that when you were a kid going through all the pain?
No. Another good point. Because you're not focused on anything good.
Yeah.
You're not thankful. You're not grateful.
You're in a survival mode.
Right.
You're all in pain and you're tense. And when you come home from school or wherever you are, all you're wondering is he or she gonna? Am I gonna be the one that sets the Jack in the Box off?
Right. Right.
And it's all you focus on. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Hard to smell the roses when there's helicopter blades going off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. And I would just like to say, to any dented cans listening, I mean, we have fives of listeners, viewers. I would just like to say that try to not use the pain that happened to you 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago as an excuse to not stop and try to only focus on the good things that are happening around you for the rest of your life. It's a tall order, man. It's a tall order.
Well, even to come back here, I think, is a tall order because so much has happened since the times when you were going through all that. And now, so you've grown. We all grow eventually, whether we want to or not. And come back and compare notes. It's like, okay, to be able to look at the good parts, I'm proud of you, man. Very good work.
Now, Dobie, I would like you to do your set here for...
Great to be in Iowa. I've actually worked this town, and it's very nice. And you don't realize, I think every town's got dented cans. Every town has got people like us. And to come back here and to pick the scab off, it's very hard to do. And I think if we can do it, you're handling it really great.
Well, good.
I didn't know what to expect. I should wear a helmet or something because we're going to do my hometown too at some point. But I think it's very cathartic and it's healthy, it's good, and it's healing. And we're all about healing. We are the Dented Cast. If you like what you see, please hit like or subscribe or tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell somebody about us because we are here to do good and to heal and to come together as a community. And I'm proud of you, buddy. This is so much fun.